On paper, it sounded like progress, a clean energy future, a revolution, powered by the sun, right on your own roof. So why can one quiet policy change, buried in a commission hearing, make thousands of California families look up at the silent glass panels on their homes and feel betrayed? Why? At the exact moment, power bills are showing up in your email, making your chest tighten just a little. Did the state decide to cut the value of that solar power by nearly 30% overnight? And here's the painful part. Why did a system designed to help the middle class go green suddenly send some people home with a cardboard box, turning the California dream into a financial nightmare for the very people who believed in it? Welcome to the Hidden Why, where your curiosity finds its answers. Today, we're exploring why California, the golden state of green energy, seems to be turning its back on the rooftop solar industry. For years, California wasn't just a leader. It was the undisputed global leader. You've seen it, patches of dark, glassy panels spreading across suburban rooftops, from modest homes to big box stores like IKEA and Walmart. Over 2 million homes and businesses went solar. The reason was simple, elegant, and it was called net metering. Think of it like this. Your house becomes a tiny, independent power plant. When the sun is high and you're at work, your roof is generating clean electricity. You use what you need, but all that excess power, it doesn't just disappear, it spins your meter backward. It flows right to your neighbor, who uses it immediately. The utility company was required to pay you, basically, the full retail price they charged everyone else. It was a good deal. No, it was a great deal. It empowered homeowners. It allowed families to lock in their electricity prices for high-mui or ba-mui years, shielding themselves from utility bills that just kept climbing. It stabilized the grid on the hottest summer days. It was obviously good for the environment, and it created an entire booming local industry. It was the poster child for a win-win scenario. But in 2023, that all changed. The state's Public Utilities Commission, or CPUC, approved a new plan. And here's the twist. They didn't ban solar. They just made it financially impossible for most new customers. The new rule, called NEMBA, cut the compensation rate, the money you get for selling your power back, by an average of 30 to 30%. Let's go back to that apple analogy. For years, you sold your extra apples to the grocery store for a piece. Then, overnight, the store announced they would still sell your apples for moat, but they would only pay you high cents for them. Would you even bother growing apples anymore? That's exactly what happened. The rate utilities paid homeowners plummeted from an average of 25 cents per kilowatt hour down to less than 5 cents. But here's the part almost no one talks about. When the utility gets your 5-cent electron, they don't have to do anything. They just send it next door to your neighbor, 20 feet away, and charge them the full retail price, maybe 35 or 40 cents. The utility does almost no work. No long-distance transmission lines. No new power plant. They just pocket the ba-mui cent difference. The utility's argument is that solar users aren't paying their fair share for grid upkeep, especially at night. But here's the strange part. The grid is most expensive and strained on hot summer afternoons. And what's happening on those hot summer afternoons? Rooftop solar is pumping out clean energy, reducing the strain for everyone. It's an immediate 20% savings just by avoiding transmission loss from distant plants, so the math just doesn't add up. And that's where things quietly go wrong. The impact wasn't theoretical. It was immediate and devastating. The market for new rooftop solar installations in California dropped 80%. Overnight, the market essentially froze. In the first year alone, 17,000 jobs vanished. Think about that. 17,000 families lost their income. Installers, Project managers, finance staff, installation companies, many of them small businesses, had to lay off over 70% of their employees. Companies that had thrived for years suddenly faced bankruptcy. For homeowners, the math just stopped working. The only way to make it make sense now is to buy expensive, bulky battery systems, hoarding your own power instead of sharing it. But batteries are costly. They don't last as long as the panels, and they add thousands to the upfront cost. If you don't have a battery, you're now essentially giving your power away for free and still getting hit with massive, true-up bills at the end of the year. Sometimes thousands of dollars. It hit middle and low-income families the hardest. The stability was gone. The promise was broken. So why would California do this? Why kill its own golden goose? The real why seems to be simpler. It's competition. A utility company's business model is a 20th century one. They have a vertical monopoly. They make money, a guaranteed more for some or more, on every dollar they spend building massive, centralized infrastructure. They want to build giant power plants hundreds of miles away and charge everyone for the expensive, dangerous transmission lines, the kind that cause wildfires, to get that power to you. Rooftop solar inverts that entire equation. It's a decentralized internet of electricity that doesn't need their massive lines. You're not just a customer anymore. You're a competitor? And the CPUC seems to have picked a side. This is happening at the exact moment California is wringing its hands, wondering how it will power the new wave of AI data centers and electric cars. The state is proposing building more massive, long-distance transmission lines, subsidized by taxpayers, all while stifling the cheapest, most efficient source of energy, already sitting on 2 million rooftops. It's a contradiction that defines the entire problem. But the fight isn't over. A coalition of environmental and consumer groups is suing the state of California. They argue the CPUC violated state law, a law that explicitly says the state must ensure rooftop solar continues to grow. After an initial loss, in August of 2025, the state Supreme Court actually agreed with them, sending the case back to the appellate court to be reviewed under a stricter standard. The legal battle is slow, but it's moving. So, the thing you thought was a simple environmental choice, putting panels on your roof, was actually a direct threat to one of the most powerful monopolies in the state. The question, it turns out, was never, is solar good for California? The answer to that is obvious. The hidden question was, is solar good for the utility's 20th century business model? And the answer to that, clearly, was no. This isn't just about electrons or kilowatt hours. It's about control. It's a battle between a centralized, guaranteed profit past and a decentralized, unpredictable future. And right now, 17,000 jobs and 2 million homeowners are caught in the middle. The next time you look up at a silent solar panel on a sunny California day, remember, it's not silent because it's broken. It's silent because a system built in the 1900s is desperately and rationally trying to protect itself. And that is the real story hidden in plain sight. If you found this explanation helpful, consider sharing it. You never know who might need to see it.
Every question hides a reason. Every answer reveals a story. If this one made you see the world a little differently, give it a like. And if you want to keep uncovering the hidden why behind our world, hit subscribe and stay curious.